Hello, everyone. Welcome to Zoho Flow's Deep Dive series. With this series, we intend to showcase everything Zoho Flow and cover different product topics, use cases, latest updates, and more. In this first session, we will look at how to get started with Zoho Flow. My name is Bira, and I handle marketing for Zoho Flow, and I'll be taking you through today's session. In today's session, we will focus on So in today's session, we will focus on topics like the need for integration, a walkthrough of the product, and familiarize you with the different components, and finally see how you can set up a flow with the help of a specific use case. So in this use case, we'll be looking at Zoho Creator, Zoho CRM, and Zoho Click, and how they can effectively communicate with each other to make the use case more effective. So a couple of general announcements before we start the session. All attendees are on mute by default. However, we would love for you to ask questions and interact with our trainers who have joined us. So if you have any questions, please post it in the Q&A tab, which is on the bottom of your screen. Our product experts during the session will be answering all of this, and you can make utilize of this opportunity to ask any questions that you have. So please do participate in the polls and questions, which will pop up on your screen as we go through the session. The questions are essentially built to understand who are you, who is the audience like, and also it will help us customize our future sessions accordingly to ensure the session is beneficial to you. And finally, the session will be recorded and we'll share it with the audience after the session. So to get started, I think we would want to know what is your familiarity with integration and Zoho Flow in general. So you'll have a question that pop up on your screen. Please do answer it. Take a couple of seconds and answer it. Okay. So what is the need for integration? Most businesses, to cater to different departments and their business verticals, use multiple point products. So this can be a CRM, an accounting software, email, and other collaboration tools. All of these are essential to run the day-to-day businesses, right? The number of applications that companies are using are only increasing day by day. In fact, some recent surveys show that on an average, a smaller organization use anywhere between 16 to 20 apps. And larger organizations with more than 1,000 employees use anywhere between 160 plus applications for their operations. So in an ideal world, these applications should interact seamlessly with each other and give a realistic overview and a dynamically updated information to the users. However, the reality is far from that. This use of multiple applications essentially creates a data silos, and it doesn't help showing dynamic information or an overview of the company anywhere. So how do companies overcome it right now? So in today's scenario, there are multiple ways in which companies are trying to overcome this problem. One is by doing manual updates. So this can be downloading and uploading data. It can be someone, some human intervention and manually updating information across application to ensure, the latest information is available. The second one is to use the native integration. So most applications try to include inbuilt integrations with top applications that they usually interact with. However, the problem with this is it tends to be very basic most of the time, and it doesn't give you a lot of option to customize. That's the problem. The third one is, of course, to build custom APIs and middlewares to connect your application. These are, of course, effective, but very time consuming. And most of the time you would need your developers to build, maintain, and scale these custom integrations. So even though all of these different options do help in some ways, it is not effective in solving the problem fully. And also it takes a lot of time and effort. It is error prone and have scalability and security issues as well. So that is where an integration platform like Zoho Flow come into play. Zoho Flow is Zoho's take on simplifying the application integration problem. So let's see how that happens. With Zoho Flow, we make the integration, the process of integrating very easy. So we have a drag and drop builder along with UI elements, which will help you build your workflow. But at the same time, it comes with powerful logic components like decision, time delays, schedules, webhooks, and custom functions, which will allow you to further customize your integration flow. So with a combination of the UI easy elements with the strong logic capabilities, you will be able to address the integration problems that you have. Second is we have 650 plus applications and 1,000 plus pre-built workflows that are available from which a user can select and plug and play and customize these workflows. The third is by easy debugging. So earlier, like we mentioned, if we have integrations that are happening in multiple applications, it's very difficult to keep a track of them, or if something is not working, to go ahead and edit or make corrections. What Zoho Flow will allow you to have is a single place where you can go ahead and resume and restart. And if some of the flows fail, you will be able to reconnect it essentially from the same platform. So it essentially brings all the integration into one place and makes it easy for you to build, maintain, and also scale your integration needs for your organization. Let's go ahead and see how Zoho Flow works. So Zoho Flow works on a concept of trigger and action. So a trigger is essentially an event that starts the flow. And there are three types of triggers that are supported by Zoho Flow at this point, which is an app trigger, a schedule trigger, and a webhook trigger. We will get into detail of what it is later during the session. And then once a trigger is, trigger essentially starts the flow, and then comes an action. So action is the workflow that is executed based on the trigger. There are app-based tasks and logic-based tasks that can happen based on the trigger. We will look at it based on an example. So what you see on screen now is a flow in full. Here, there is Zoho Desk, and a ticket getting created in Zoho Desk is the trigger point for the whole flow. The second step is searching a contact in CRM. This is an action that is happening based on the trigger. And then a deal is being fetched from CRM, again, another action. So whatever you see after that is all different actions that are being executed based on the initial trigger point, which is a ticket being created in the desk. We'll now go into Zoho Flow and see an end-to-end walkthrough of how the product looks like. So once you log into Zoho Flow, this is the page that you land in, which is the dashboard. Here you can see the flow overview, how many total flows you have in your account, how many of them are live, how many of them are paused, or what all are in the building stage. You can also see an execution range-wise information on how many of the tasks that were executed were a success and a failure. You'll be able to see that. You can also see the recent executions, what all are the different flows that got executed recently. And if you click on it, you will be able to see a step-by-step input and output as well, where you'll be able to go and see what are the different steps that happened and the different tasks that happened. Back to the dashboard, you'll also be able to see top 5 flows that are in your account in the dashboard as well. So this is essentially to give you an overview of what is happening in the application in your specific org. Another thing that I would like to draw your attention to is the Explore Gallery option. Ideally, if you're trying to build a flow, the first place you should look is in the gallery page and see if your application that you want to integrate with is available on the gallery. So ideally, if I want to integrate, let's say, my Zoho CRM with Slack, I have to check if Slack is available here and Zoho CRM is available here. So both of them are available in my gallery page. Again, on the right side, you can see pre-built templates that are available. So let's say an example of Zoho CRM. If I want to see what all are the different pre-built templates that are available for me to use, just select Zoho CRM and it'll filter down all the different templates which has Zoho CRM in it. And if any of it works for my use case, I can go ahead and just use this flow and then plug and play and configure the triggers and actions according to my needs. You can also see the different organization details or the organization that you're a part of here. You will be able to go into manage organizations and make any of it default. And if you want to leave any organization or if you want to change any credentials, you'll be able to do that. The important aspect here is the task consumption that you would like to see. So in Zoho Flow, a task is a single successful execution of an action. Based on your plan, there are task limits that are set, and you will be able to track how many tasks are being used here in this panel. If you're hitting your task limit, you will be able to go ahead and purchase additional from the subscription option. Now let's look at the left side panel, which has the dashboard flows and settings. I'll come to my flows later. For now, let's go into settings. In settings, we have organization profile option first, in which you can view and edit various details such as your organization name, the time zone that you're in, also the default date format. So if you want your flow to have a very specific default date format, you will be able to go ahead and select it from here. The second one is the history tab. Here you will be able to see history of all the different executions that have happened in your organization. If you click on a particular execution, you will be able to see their input and output details and see how it has gotten executed as well. You can also see the different status of the different flows that you have. The different statuses that are available are processing, queued, delayed, filtered, completed, and failed. So later, if you want to rerun or restart any of your failed flows, this is the page where you come and do that. This is the organizational overview. Just like this, in individual flows as well, you will be able to see a history and do that for individual flows. Next is an important aspect, which is connections. So connection is an app account that Zoho Flow has permission to exchange data with. For example, if you want to connect your business Gmail account or your Slack account or even a different Zoho application with Zoho Flow, you will have to essentially build this bridge and make a connection. And it is a one-time process. You have to do it, and then later you will be able to reconnect and act on it in this connections tab. So by default, when you create a connection, it is private. But let's say the organization is used by other people and you want to make that connection available to them, you can go ahead and use the share option to share that with the rest of the members in your organization. You can also test your connection. And in some cases, if the connection fails, you will be able to reconnect the connection from the same panel. So in some cases, the process of building the connection is pretty straightforward. In some cases, you will have to give an auth token, but it will be provided in the screen itself. You will be able to generate an auth token and then get connected. But this is an overview of how connections can be built. You also have an option on right corner to create a new connection. You can select whichever application you want to build a connection with, give a connection name, and then decide, do you want to allow that application to have access to all the triggers and action, or if you want to, let's say for some security reason or to make it easier in the org, want to limit it to any specific triggers and action, you can do that as well. So the next steps of it will be it is based on the third party or the other Zoho application that you use. The process is not unique for everything. In some cases, a new window opens and you just have to click on an authorize button. In some cases, like I said, auth token will have to be provided. We'll skip the agents for now. That is a future interesting upgrade that is coming for Flow. We will go to the next section, which is members. So there are three types of organization members that are available, or options that is available in Zoho Flow. One is owner, admin, and user. And you can create an organization and you can actually belong to multiple organizations if necessary. Like in this case, this particular account, Bella, is a part of multiple organizations. By default, the person who creates an organization is the owner and has enhanced power or access in the account. Whereas a member also has, an admin also has enhanced access. They will be able to change the organization profile, will have access to all of the same things as the owner. The third one, which is a user, will only have access to create, edit, or delete the flow, or create, test, delete, or reconnect an app connection. So there are limitations that comes with being a user. At this point in Zoho Flow, we only have these three your organization member types that are available, and there is not much of a customization available on what access is provided for each of this member. You will be able to invite a new member from this option, enter the name, email, and choose the role that you want to give them and invite them. The next option is audit trial. So earlier in history, we saw a history of all the different executions and tasks that have happened and what exactly are the flows that are executed. In audit trial, you will be able to see different members of the organization and who has done what and how the changes have been made in the organization. So this is essential, of course, for audit purpose, and if you want to maintain security part of the organization, this information will help. You will be able to filter it down based on folder, based on agent, and based on connections here. And also you can select different date ranges. And both history and audit trial, you will be able to export as a CSV file and maintain it in your records for later access as well. The second last one is support access. So in some cases, of course, you will want our Zoho support agents to access the flow and debug it or look at it to help you. So in that case, you can go ahead and select this allow support access option. By default, it will make your account available for them for 15 days. And let's say the support query is completed, you can always go back and uncheck it to disable the support access. The final one is custom functions. Like we mentioned earlier, other than the UI-based triggers and actions, if you want to bring in some other logic to the flow, you can use custom functions and custom code it. This is a one-stop place to see all the different custom functions that are in your org, and you can test, edit, and copy it for your use. Here in this account, there's only one particular custom function that is available, but if you have more, all of that will be listed down here. The last one is My Flows. So My Flows is where you can see all the different flow template or flows that you have built in your account. Here you can see a folder. A folder is essentially helps you organize your different flows. Let's say if you want to organize it by your verticals or by employees or by any specific function they have, you can create folder to customize it. How to create a folder? On the right corner, along with creating a flow, you have an option to create a folder as well, and you can kind of bring in different flows to the folder. You can also switch on and off any of the flows that you have from this particular page. And if you look at any specific example of a flow, so I'll go ahead and select one of this option. This is a summary of your specific flow. So here you can see similar to the dashboard, which showed all the flows for the whole organization. Here you can see how many flows were executed, how many of them were failure and success, and similar information like the dashboard page. You have a flow builder where you will go ahead and build your flow and map your variables, etc. And you have a history, exactly like earlier I showed the org level history. This is a very specific flow level history you have. So once you build the flow, you'll have to turn it on for it to trigger the different actions. Now, what we'll see is we'll go and see an example of a demo that we'll be going through next. In this particular one, there are 4 different applications that we're going to look, all of which is Zoho applications. There is Zoho Creator, and we have a submit or request for a demo form that is there in Zoho Creator. We have a Zoho CRM where there are leads and customers and other information that are getting stored. We have a click channel and also Zoho Mail in which we want to trigger some notification. So let's take a look at how all of this looks. So this is the creator form. So we have a book a demo form that is in Zoho Creator, which captures the name of the person, email, phone number, the company name, any request that they have, and they can book a particular demo time. What we have next is Zoho CRM in which we have a lead module, and we have different leads that are available. These are some dummy information that is available there. We also have a click channel, like I mentioned, where we have different channels. Here, I want you to look at the sales and the account management channel. So what essentially this flow does is when a request is submitted in the Zoho Creator form, we want to check. So it's an open, let's assume this is a form that is openly available for everyone on the web. And if a request come in, we want to check if it is an existing customer or a lead, or is it a new lead? Because in your business, of course, you will want to give a certain level of priority for customers and a different priority for the new leads. And it will go to different departments. It will not be handled by the same team. So in this case, the existing customers are handled by account management team, and the new prospects are handled by a sales team. So based on if it's a prospect, a new person filling in the form, or an existing customer or a lead filling in a form, I want that information to be checked in our CRM. And if it's an existing customer, a notification will be sent to the account management team, and a pop-up will also, or like a notification will come in the click channel. Let's say if it is not an existing lead. In that case, I would want to create a lead in CRM so that I can nurture it later, and also send a notification to my sales team so that they get on it quickly and have a conversation with that lead and convert them. So this is the flow that we are going to build out. We will go back to the flow builder, create a new flow. I'm going to name it demo to sales or AM flow, just giving a standard name and going ahead and creating it. So we touched upon this point earlier. So in Flow, we have 3 different triggers that are available: an app trigger, in which an event occurs. So the trigger will get started when something happens in the application. The second one is a schedule trigger. This can be a one-time or a recurring trigger, which is based on a specific timing or a specific schedule. For example, you want a click notification to be shared every Monday on a certain time, or email to be shared with your employees or your team members every month in the beginning with the sales updates from the last month. So things like that, you will be able to use a schedule to set up. And the third one is webhook. So this lets you push data from a third-party application to Flow. So using a custom URL that Flow provides. So when you go ahead and click on configure, there will be a custom URL that is provided. And by using that, you will be able to push data here, and then you will be able to use that data to trigger the flow. So in this particular case, Zoho Creator and all the other applications are apps that are available in our gallery. So we can go ahead and select that. So we'll search for Zoho Creator, select the application and click on next. Here you can see the different triggers that are available. So you have record created and record updated triggers that are available. And you can also see there is something called real time, that is a tag that is against the trigger. So in Flow, there are 2 types of such tags available, which is one is real time, other one is polling trigger. So real time means whenever there is a record that is created, instantly Flow will get that update and the particular flow will get triggered. In some options, especially with third party, and we will have something called polling trigger, which means the third party or the other app is not giving the information instantly. Zoho Flow will have to go and ping that application at different intervals. And in our case, it is anywhere between 5 minutes to 15 minutes based on the plan that you are in. And then look at what all are the updates that happened. And then the trigger the trigger will start based on any updates that is there. So in this particular use case, we want a record created as the starting trigger, and we have to select the connection. So I already showed you how, or spoke about how connections can be built. Here I have existing connections built with my creator account. So I'm going to select that. And the variable name is something that is populated by default, and it's normally populated as trigger. If you want to edit it, you have options to go ahead and edit it. And I have to select the application. Here in this particular case, there's only one app in my account. That's why it's showing just that. But if you have multiple, you'll be able to select that from here. And I'm going to go ahead and select my form. So my form here is book a demo. If you want to further filter the criteria, let's say this is a very simple, smaller application, but if the app that you selected and if there are multiple forms and multiple applications, you might want to filter the criteria out. You will be able to do that from the filter criteria option here. So for my use case here, this is good enough. I am going to go ahead and create the particular trigger. So the trigger here is Zoho created and a record being created. One good practice, I would say, is it's always better to rename it based on your use case. So here for me, it is demo request created. This will imagine you have a big flow, and in that case, maybe the standard ones that come in might not help you look at it later and understand what's going on. So renaming it to what works for you or what is business logic might help you later to understand or to look back and correct things if necessary. So demo is being created. The next step I want is I want to check in my CRM and see that particular lead, if it is an existing lead or if it's a new one. So for that, I would need Zoho CRM. What you see here is app and logic action. So you have different actions that are available. You can search the app you want and see what are the different options that you have, which are pre-built and available. So here in Zoho CRM, it is in my leads module. So I want to check, or basically I want to fetch a lead. I want to fetch the lead and trigger and see if the particular email or the person who has filled in the form is an existing customer or a lead or not. So again, here for my CRM, I have a CRM connection which is already built. When I select that, you will the default information that is needed will pop up, and you have to map it to the merge template that is available. So here I can see what all are the information that are available in Creator in this particular form. The best part about having this pre-built integration is Zoho Flow already knows what are the different information that are available in this form, and kind of we'll be able to bring that into the flow easily. And let's say you change the form here, you can just refresh and see the updated fields in the right panel. So here I want to, the unique thing will be the email in this particular case. So I want to check if this email is available in the CRM and fetch that information. So that's it. The variable by default is fetch lead. I would like to keep that for now and go ahead and select done. So here what happens is the entry is being made based on that email. We have already checked in CRM if that lead exists or not. And now I want to make a decision based on what is the outcome from this. So if there is a lead that exists, I want certain execution to happen. And if it doesn't exist, I want something else to happen. And that's where a logic action comes into play. And this particular case, it will be decision. There are other options as well. For example, set variable will create a variable and assign any constant value that you want, which can be referred later in your flow. A decision will enable your workflow to execute different branches of actions based on the condition. So that's what decision will let you do. Delay is if you want to, like if you want to execute it after some time, any specific branch or any specific logic, if you want to execute it after some time, you can use the delay option to do that. You have option to send an email, a notification using email, and the custom functions. If you want to format, if you want to bring in any custom business logic to the flow, you can build your custom function here. So in this particular case, I want to add a decision option here. And what I want to check is, so we have already fetched the information, right? And the unique thing I think would be the ID here. So I'll look at the lead ID. And if the lead ID is null, I want something specific to happen. So that is one option. So again, always recommend to rename it. So lead is null means lead is not found. And the second logic is again choosing ID, because that's a unique identifier here. And if it is not null, that means lead was found. Just confirming. Okay, it's null and it's not null. Okay, so here lead was not found and here lead was found. So if you look back, if the lead is found, that means it's an existing customer. I want account management team to get some notification, and otherwise I want a new lead to be created and notification sent to a different team. So what decision helps you do is create the different branches like I mentioned earlier. Here we will go back and add the notifications that we need. If it was not found, I want to create a lead in my CRM, because essentially if I don't do that, I'm missing out on that opportunity. I will want my sales team to nurture that lead and kind of bring them in, right? So I will want to add or create and update a lead if the lead is not found. And here you can see, because I have multiple branches, multiple steps, the flow will show you where all or what are the possibilities of extension that you can do. Here, for my case, create or update a lead should be if the lead came in as null. My Zoho CRM connection I have to pick. And again, in the pre-built template, it is showing you what all are the different fields in Zoho CRM that are mandatory. So for me to create any entry in lead, I would need for sure a company name and last name. So those are the two, I think, yeah, those are the two mandatory information that I have to fill. And I want to pick up that information from my Zoho creator form. So here the company name is available. I'm adding that merge template here. I have first name and last name, so I'm going to map what all information I would like to see in the Zoho CRM, first name, last name. I want to map the email, also the phone number if that is available. And if you want to show the lead source as something specific, you can go ahead and select that. You can customize this as you need, but these are the mandatory ones. So I'm going ahead and clicking on done. So here, if the lead is not found, it would create or update a specific lead. But I also want to send an update to my sales team saying, hey, you have a new lead that has come in. So in notification, I am going to select send email. I want to send the email to, for this demo purpose, I'm just going to use one of our standard email that we have, like a test email. In your case, in customer's case, you can use your sales team alias, for example. So here, a new prospect. Good thing is you will also be able to bring in the information that you have. So here we know the name of the company. So a new prospect, so and so from this company as scheduled demo. So you can add that. And the message also you can fill in what you need. Reach out. And you can, again, like I said, add any details that you want the salesperson to basically see in the email, you will be able to add that here. So for now, I'm just doing that. So this is a new lead, therefore we call it a prospect, and this will go to the sales team. I also want to send a notification and click, because that is the fastest way in which, let's say, our internal team will act on it. So I will want to, send a notification, and send a notification in a channel as a bot is the use case I'm going for. There is a sales channel, and I want to just show the same information there, telling, hey, reach out to this particular customer. So like I mentioned, the connection, what I have is a standard connection I've added. Then variable is there. And the message I want to show is a prospect as scheduled demo at, because we have a time, maybe we can mention that. Yeah, demo appointment time. And me also can be mentioned. So then we can go ahead and select which is the channel. So for me, using this connection, these are the different channels that are available here. Because it's a new prospect, I wanted to go in the sales channel, and you'll have to add or select the bot as well. Here I'm selecting the discovery call bot. That's the standard bot I've added in the channel, and go ahead and done. So one branch of execution is completed now. So if the lead is not found, create a lead in CRM, send an update to my sales team in both via email and by click as well. But one more thing is, what if there is an error that is happening while I am creating this lead in CRM? It can happen, right? Like I said, there are mandatory fields that are there. Maybe it didn't update properly. So in that case, I want the system admin in the company to know that, hey, something has gone wrong, because of course, every lead is important and you don't want to miss out on that. So in that case, I also want to add on error an email notification to admin. So here I'm just going to add my email, or yeah, my email, and an error occurred in creating the lead in CRM or instead of giving a standard one, always better to give some unique identifier. So you can go ahead and check that. Please do the needful. This is what I want the system admin to see. So yeah, if this flow trigger executes and creates the lead, this would happen. And if the lead is not created on error, an email will be sent to the system admin. That's how I would like to set this up. The second one we have is if the lead was found. So that means it is an existing customer. So what I did was, because the arrangement was not proper, I just used the auto arrange. So it'll kind of give you the space to build the flow out further. So if the lead was found, I want to then send, just like the other one, and just like the other one, an email to my sales team, account management team. Here also I'm going to use, you can use, if you have an alias, that here I'm using demo dummy email. Your customer, because in this case it's an existing customer, has requested for demo. Yeah, and for saving time, I'm just going to use the same thing and add further details here, the company name, email, maybe the first name and the last name, and click on done. And we also want a click notification to come in the channel. Again, same as the bot in a channel. And action is already picked up. Hi. Your customer has requested a demo. The channel in this case is the account management channel, and I'm selecting the bot and clicking on done. So yeah, so with that, our flow is complete. So a trigger, which is entry in Zoho Creator, comes in. We will check that in CRM, make a decision based on if it is an existing lead or not. If it is not, create a lead update and go ahead. And so we'll see how this is executing. We'll have to switch the flow on to execute this. So the flow is switched on. And sometimes, let's say after the flow is switched on and you make some edit, you will have an option here called save changes. So ensure you click on that before proceeding further. Otherwise, it'll trigger the earlier flow itself. So the flow is on. Let's go ahead and make an entry in the demo form. I'll try to add something which is not already there. So only Sebastian, using the same name, but I'm just going to change the email a bit, enter the information. Call it Silver Core and select a time and go ahead and submit. We'll see if it in the report it has come. So Zilker, yeah, so the information has come in the creator application. We'll give it a couple of minutes for it to execute in the flow. Meanwhile, I just want to go ahead and ensure if everything is set up properly. So decision, lead is null. Then create an update on error. Okay. So you can also see the history of it is getting executed here. So here you can see, yeah, it is in queue right now. So we'll have to give it a couple of minutes before it gets executed. Yeah, so it has gotten executed. We'll just refresh to see if the entry is made in CRM. So in CRM, yeah, the entry is being made. And because it was a new lead in the sales channel, we have got an update saying, hey, a prospect has requested for a demo. And we'll also see if this is the dummy email that I'd given. Here also, you've gotten a notification saying, hey, please reach out to so-and-so. So our flow has executed. And if you click on this history, you can see what are the different inputs and outputs that each stage and check that out as well. Because in some cases, if it doesn't work, you will be able to see where it exactly went wrong and you'll be able to correct it accordingly. So yeah, this is an overview of how Zoho Flow works with simple example.